Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome to MsMojo. If you love a good romantic comedy like I do, you'll know that one of the most important elements of a couple's story is the kiss. And that goes for both movies and television. To that end, let's get started by looking at 10 of the most romantic TV kisses ever. Bet you can guess what number 1 is.
This isn't real,
You can make me
but I just wanna feel.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most romantic TV kisses ever.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2. I'm actually not gonna do a count.
Okay.
That's not my style when I kiss.
Yeah.
I don't count down.
For this list, we'll be looking at those televised smooches that had us swooning in our seats. Look out for romantic spoilers ahead. Number 10, Lucifer and Chloe Decker. Lucifer. When you enter into a relationship with the devil, you better know what you're getting yourself into.
It's not like you to give up.
Oh, no, I haven't given up. I had an epiphany of sorts. You deserve someone worthy of you, and that isn't me.
The first time Chloe kissed Lucifer on the hit series Lucifer, she didn't believe that he was the literal devil. But by the time we get our entry's kiss, which takes place at the beginning of season 5, she's accepted him for his true self. Again, the literal devil. A win for character development, we suppose.
If you choose to be vulnerable around me, then I choose to be vulnerable around you.
But devil or not, there's something really lovely about Chloe deciding to kiss Lucifer despite knowing the truth. Or, depending on how you look at it, maybe she kisses him because she knows the truth, that her feelings must be real. Either way, it's terribly romantic.
Case closed. Then we can all go back to our previous engagements.
Number 9, Lorelai Gilmore and Luke Danes. Gilmore Girls. Romances are built on a lot of things. Love, trust, mutual respect, and of course, a healthy love of coffee. While Gilmore Girls might spend a lot of time on Rory's many loves, there's one relationship that we were all dying to see get to the next level.
Okay, Burger Boy, dance.
Will you marry me?
What?
Just looking for something to shut you up.
Luke and Lorelai spent the first 4 seasons of the show bantering around their feelings, but by the end of season 4, the two finally kiss after years of pining.
What are you doing?
Will you just stand still?
This moment is so swoon-worthy for many reasons. The tension, the setting, Luke finally breaking, but the greatest part has to be seeing everything finally fall into place for these two beloved characters.
If one of us had been a frog, it would have had some seriously impressive consequences.
Okay.
Number 8, Jake Peralta and Amy Santiago, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Enemies to lovers is one of the greatest tropes in cinema history, and no modern sitcom has done it better than Jake and Amy on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling, yeah.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
I will.
Luckily, the both of them were pretty much over the enemies part of their connection by the time we got to season 2, but it still took them a bit to get to the lovers part. When they go undercover as an engaged couple, they have to fake kiss each other a few times, something we doubt either of them were really unhappy about.
Good. Kept our cover intact. Nice work.
Quick professional thinking out there. Very quick. Very professional.
Detective?
Detective.
All of these fake kisses lead to some real truths, and later in the episode, they share a real, sweet, and quiet kiss in the evidence lockup room. Just look at the way they fall into each other. It's beyond cute.
Anyways, about a year ago, we bumped into each other at a bar, and we haven't been able to keep our hands off each other since.
Number 7, Daphne Moon and Niles Crane. Frasier. Talk about making us wait for the payoff. From the first moment Niles Crane met Daphne Moon, it was clear he was in the bag for her.
When Fraser told me he'd hired an English woman, I pictured someone a little more, not quite so. You're Daphne?
It might have taken Daphne a bit longer to warm up to Niles, but still, we knew pretty early on these two were endgame. And yet, Niles and Daphne do not kiss on Frasier for 7 entire seasons.
How come you never said anything before?
Daphne, I wanted to. I just, the timing never seemed right.
Oh, and the timing's right now?
When they finally admit their feelings and seal it with a kiss, they're both in committed relationships with other people. Oof. This first kiss is melancholy, until it's not. Even though their relationship seems impossible, they decide to throw all caution to the wind in favour of taking a chance on love.
I was wondering if you might be free for a date.
Oh my God, yes.
Number 6, Elena Gilbert and Damon Salvatore, The Vampire Diaries. Kissing in the rain is one of the staples of romance. So for this entry, we're going to give it up for one of our favourites.
Come on, time to invent a ship.
No, wait. Just give it a second. It'll clear up.
Throughout the Vampire Diaries, Elena is wrapped up in a pretty serious love triangle with the Salvatore brothers, Damon and Stefan. But if we're being honest, from the moment Damon walked on screen, we knew who we wanted her to end up with. Come on. The interactions between them, there was a clear winner there.
I get to you. You find yourself drawn to me. You think about me even when you don't want to think about me. I bet you even dreamed about me.
This rainy nighttime kiss from season 6 is just one example of their scorching chemistry, but it's one that made its mark on Delena fans everywhere.
Promise me this is forever.
I promise.
Number 5, Mickey Milkovich and Ian Gallagher, Shameless. The most romantic kisses are the ones that feel like a milestone.
I'm working a double tonight. You want to stop by?
In Shameless, Mickey and Ian are involved with each other pretty much from the jump, but there are plenty of complications along the way, including, among other things, Mickey's struggle to accept his sexuality.
I don't know what you see in that geriatric Viagroid.
He buys me stuff, orders me room service. Isn't afraid to kiss me.
Acceptance is what makes this season 4 kiss between them so special. Mickey goes to visit Ian at the club where he works, where Ian initially leans in to kiss him. Mickey pulls back, but after a moment's hesitation, he decides to kiss Ian right there in front of everyone. It's romantic anyway, but it's doubly romantic that Mickey is the one to make the decision to fully accept himself and his feelings for Ian.
Love you.
Number 4, Leslie Knope and Ben Wyatt, Parks and Recreation. Workplace relationships can be hard, but these two make it look easy, and oh so sweet.
And I look forward to the moments in my day where I get to hang out with the town and talk to the town about stuff. And the town has really nice blonde hair too.
Ben Wyatt comes onto the scene in Parks and Recreation in season 2, and it's clear that Leslie has a crush on him pretty much right away. But both Ben and Leslie are consummate professionals, and neither act on their feelings. That is, until they can't take it anymore. On a work trip together, Ben finally admits how he feels, but the two are quickly reminded that workplace relationships spell out trouble.
I think I might go to bed too, actually.
Oh yeah? Okay.
When they return to Pawnee though, Chris isn't there to crash things that time around, and Ben makes his move. Oh, forbidden love, how we love thee.
There is another option. We could just say screw it and do this thing for real.
Number 3, Pacey Witter and Joey Potter, Dawson's Creek. If there's one thing that real Dawson's Creek fans know, it's that Dawson was never a true option for Joey. Sorry, that role would be filled by one Pacey Witter.
What does that mean, Joe?
It means that... I guess it means that I can talk to you and that you're there for me.
Don't you ever get tired of talking?
The first time Pacey and Joey kiss, it's fueled by passion, and a little bit of a meltdown on Pacey's part. Their most romantic kiss in season 3, however, comes a little bit later on. For weeks, the two have been waffling around. Pacey finally tells Joey that she has to be the one to choose him this time.
I can't keep on kissing you, Joe.
What do you mean?
I mean just that. I can't keep on kissing you. All right, I've done it twice now. I can't be the one that's always initiating this. I can't be the one who's always giving you the answers.
He almost walks away, but she grabs him at the last moment. As Daydream Believer plays in the background, the two share a truly romantic kiss.
Oh, what can it mean to daydream believer and a homecoming queen?
Number 2, Nick Miller and Jessica Day, New Girl. For fans of New Girl, the season 2 episode Cooler was like the beginning of a new era.
Just do this already. Just kiss me.
No, I'm not gonna kiss you.
Kiss me.
Just stop.
God, Miller, just kiss me already.
No, not like this.
For the first season and a half, we watched Jess and Nick date other people and dance around their feelings for each other. But in Cooler, Jess and Nick are literally forced to kiss each other because of none other than a game of True American.
Okay, we kissed. Let us out. Sent you a picture.
That ain't no kiss, man.
Come on, Inspector Gadget. Inspect those tonsils.
Just give Jazz a tender, sensual kiss, and we will let you right out.
Shut up!
Let's stay out of this! They don't actually kiss during the game, due to some shenanigans we won't get into here. But after the game is over and everyone goes to sleep, Nick lays an absolute banger of a kiss on Jess. It's one of the first times we really see Nick take charge. He shows his romantic side and leaves us wanting more.
Shut up and take off your clothes right now, and I mean it. Take off your clothes.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Sam Malone and Diane Chambers. Cheers. These two invented enemies to lovers.
You disgust me. I hate you.
Are you as turned on as I am?
More.
Buffy Summers and Spike, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. A musical episode has to end with a great kiss.
Where do we go from here?
Seth Cohen and Summer Roberts, The OC. Coffee carts equals romance, as far as we're concerned.
That'll be $10, Colin.
That's for a worthy cause.
Number 1, Ross Geller and Rachel Green, Friends. Sometimes after a fight, all you need is a good kiss. Ross and Rachel's first came with about as much fanfare as you might expect. Ross likes her, she likes him, but never at the same time.
I'm with somebody else. I'm happy. This ship has sailed.
Okay, so what are you saying? You're just sort of put away feelings or whatever the hell it was that you felt for me?
Hey, I've been doing it since the 9th grade. I've gotten pretty damn good at it.
All right, fine. You go ahead and you do that, all right?
When Ross finally learns about Rachel's feelings for him, of course at the inappropriate time that he's dating someone else, he calls off his relationship.
I was doing great with Julie before I found out about you.
Hey, I was doing great before I found out about you. You think it's easy for me to see you with Julie?
Well, then you should have said something before I met her.
I didn't know then.
The two fight about their bad timing in the coffee house and Ross storms out. But in a true I care about you moment, he comes back. This might be the most iconic sitcom kiss of all time. We're not sure if anything will ever beat it.
So, did you see number 1 on that list coming? It's hard to beat Ross and Rachel. And wasn't their coffee house kiss the most gratifying thing for us as viewers? I can answer that for you. Yes, it was. So, let's take a look at even more rewarding smooches with the top 30 most satisfying movie kisses.
I just think maybe you should consider whether or not you feel you can deliver a kiss that kills.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most impactful, meaningful, and/or feel-good film kisses.
And have my lips isn't that they have took?
Sin from my lips? Oh, trespass, sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
Number 30, Alex and Kate, The Lake House.
Wait 2 years, Alex. Come to the lake house. I'm here.
In this unique romance, Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock prove that not even time can keep two people away if they're meant for each other. Their characters communicate via a special mailbox that sends letters through time.
Possible, I know. Not possible. But it's happening.
The ending finds Alex and Kate meeting up, turning their fantasy into a reality. It's wonderful to see this couple come together after so many twists and turns.
You waited.
Their kiss makes up for all the heartbreak in one meaningful meetup. After seeing them separated for so long, the audience witnesses what might have seemed impossible before, giving this film a magical ending. Number 29, Paula and Zach, An Officer and a Gentleman.
You come here a lot?
I come here once in a while.
I'm sorry I didn't call you this week. This whole week for me has been unbelievable.
While going through officer candidate school, Zach falls hard for local Paula. The naval recruit and the factory worker embark on a turbulent and intense relationship.
Zach, am I your fantasy? What? No, I'm not gonna get serious on you, but I dare you not to fall in love with me. I mean, how can you resist? I'm like candy.
You are better than candy.
At the end of this iconic film, the hero tracks her down, kisses her, and sweeps her off her feet in one of the most romantic finales of the 1980s. It's especially satisfying to see them together after it seemed they were separated for good. Richard Gere and Deborah Winger give career-defining performances, making you believe that this couple can really last. This kiss and the final shot of them leaving are a triumphant end. Number 28, Karen and Milton, From Here to Eternity.
I never knew it could be like this. Nobody ever kissed me the way you do.
Talk about iconic romantic moments. In this Oscar-winning film, Deborah Kerr and Burt Lancaster's characters are hopelessly in love. Their feelings culminate in one of the most picturesque kisses ever captured on film.
Well, on the other hand, I've got a bathing suit under my dress.
Me too.
The ocean waves wash over them as they're tangled up together, a striking image that serves as a great metaphor for their relationship. Parodied in other media, this scene in From Here to Eternity is almost more famous than the film that surrounds it. The kiss and the follow-up capture a relationship which will be challenged by the forces of history, giving them one blissful day before their lives change.
What's the matter? What are you hinting at?
Why? Is there something to hint at?
Number 27, Loretta and Ronnie, Moonstruck. Both Cher's Loretta Castorini and Nicolas Cage's Ronnie Camerari are living troubled lives in Moonstruck. Their strange relationship eventually comes to a head in this scene, as Cage's character throws the kitchen table and makes out with Cher's heroine.
Wait a minute! Wait a minute!
Played for laughs, the scene feels both ridiculous and oddly special. On the surface, their partnership isn't obvious, but this kiss makes their romantic tension ring true.
I'm looking where I have to become a bride.
A bride without a head.
A wolf without a foot!
It might seem absurd at first, but you come to realize that this unlikely duo deserves each other. You also have two outstanding performers breathing every ounce of charisma they can into this sequence.
Where are you taking me?
To the bed.
Oh, God. Okay, I don't care. Take me to the bed.
Number 26, Kat and Patrick, 10 Things I Hate About You.
Now there's a way to get a guy's attention, huh?
My mission in life. But obviously I struck your fancy, so you see it worked. The world makes sense again.
Pick up on Friday, then.
For this Shakespeare adaptation, Patrick gets paid to take out the unruly Kat. Their romance blossoms despite all of the scheming behind her back, but it seems lost when she realizes the truth. The last scene has Heath Ledger's character apologizing with a gift, and the heroine kissing him in a hopeful end to the film.
You can't just buy me a guitar every time you screw up, you know.
Yeah, I know. But then, you know, there's always drums and bass and maybe even one day a tambourine.
You know somehow, deep down, that these two are made for each other. We can only hope that they stay in touch after high school. With two impressive actors anchoring this movie, their teen romance becomes something much more honest, believable, and nuanced.
You are amazingly self-assured. Has anyone ever told you that?
I tell myself that every day, actually.
Number 25, Keith and Watts, Some Kind of Wonderful. Keith falls for Amanda, but he doesn't understand that his friend Watts loves him. In one scene, the latter tries to help out her buddy by giving him lessons.
If you say you can, you probably can.
Well, no, I'm no expert.
It's cool. I was just gonna work on it with you, but if you're comfortable, great.
Wait. How do you work on it?
This gives way to one of the film's most memorable sequences, with the two friends sharing an intimate moment. It's clear that there's some complex feelings here despite their long-standing friendship.
What?
Lesson's over. You're cool.
You're blushing.
Yeah, right. The day I blush.
Their love is confirmed at the end, but here is where it becomes clear that these two are something special. The chemistry is palpable between the two, and you'll likely be screaming from your seat to tell them.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Yeah, well, you're stupid.
Number 24, Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy, Pride and Prejudice. In this adaptation of Jane Austen's classic story, Elizabeth Bennet goes through a whirlwind of emotions concerning Mr. Darcy.
Might I ask why with so little endeavour at civility I'm thus repulsed?
And I might as well inquire why, with so evident a design of insulting me, you chose to tell me that you like me against your better judgment.
No, believe me, I
if
didn't
I
mean...
was uncivil, then that is some excuse, but I have other reasons. You know I have.
As the film progresses, they reconnect, reconcile, and agree to marry. Darcy's return is an amazing moment in and of itself that sets up this important moment at the end.
You have bewitched me, body and soul, and I love you. I never wish to be parted from you from this day on.
They're destined to be together, and it's fantastic to see them finally kiss. It's also a relief as the dramatic plot pits them against each other for most of the runtime. As the two come together, true love feels possible at last, and the incredible setting enhances the emotion, ensuring the characters will spend an enchanted evening together.
Mrs. Darcy.
Number 23. Ennis and Jack, Brokeback Mountain. Ennis and Jack are kept apart by societal pressures and attitudes, but their feelings for each other cannot be denied.
Oh, Brokeback, that is good, don't it? What are we gonna do now?
Oh, Dad, there's nothing we can do.
Reunited after several years apart, the moment when they kiss is a beautiful distillation of their longing and the difficulties they endure. Both Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal throw themselves into their roles and make sure that these moments feel especially authentic.
I swear to God, I didn't know we was gonna get into this again. Oh, yes, I did. I redlined it all the way. I couldn't get here fast enough.
You can tell that their characters are brimming with passion in this particular sequence. Adding to the importance of this kiss, Ennis's wife spots the couple. This presents a major turning point for the story, along with providing the characters with a much-needed outlet.
So me and Jack, we're gonna head out and get ourselves a drink. Yeah.
Sure enough.
Pleased to meet you, ma'am.
We might not get back tonight when we get to drinking and talking and all.
Number 22. Baby and Johnny, Dirty Dancing. Baby and Johnny have a special partnership in this 1980s classic.
Good going. Good going. Close your eyes. Two, three, four. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4.
Dance is often used in films to indicate sexual attraction, and the chemistry these two exude as they dance together is undeniable. As an audience member, you're basically waiting for them to kiss right up until this moment.
Dance with me.
We're here.
The scene also effectively utilizes choreography to heighten and enhance the inevitable moment when they connect. Both Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze bring a great physicality to the sequence, making this all the more satisfying when the inevitable happens. Just in case you forgot, this part reminds you why the movie is called Dirty Dancing. Number 21. Buttercup and Wesley, The Princess Bride.
A wave of love swept over them, and as they reached for each other...
What? What?
Now it's kissing again. You don't want to hear that.
I don't mind so much.
After all of their struggles, Wesley and Buttercup finally reunite at the end of this fantasy adventure. It's especially gratifying to see them kiss, given that they've each been in danger for most of the film. With Peter Falk's grandfather narrating the scene, the couple embraces one last time in a moving sequence that solidifies their love.
Since the invention of the kiss, there have been 5 kisses that were rated the most passionate, the most pure. This one left them all behind.
The words that accompany the scene also add to the power of the moment. Described as a historical kiss, this storybook ending wouldn't be complete without the main characters finding happiness once more. It's everything that audiences could have wanted from a finale.
Maybe you could come over and read it again to me tomorrow.
As you wish.
Number 20. Tessa and Hardin, After.
Tessa, let's just start over. Just reset and we can be...
What? Friends?
Well, why not?
Anna Todd's book After was a massive hit due to its steamy story and the couple at its center, Tessa and Hardin.
Welcome to my favorite place.
The tale straddles the line between a young adult and grown-up story, with the characters being college students with a little more independence.
I don't think we can ever be just friends.
Tessa's intrigued by Hardin, who has quite a reputation, to say the least, and their relationship comes to a head when Hardin takes her on an outing to a lake and they realize that their attempts at remaining just friends are going to be totally futile. Number 19. Frank and Rachel, the bodyguard. When Rachel finally learns more about Frank, an intimacy grows between the entertainment superstar and former Secret Service agent.
Bodyguard must know very little peace.
It shouldn't be romantic when Rachel starts swinging a samurai sword around, but the tension between these two characters has already been building for a long time.
Watch this.
Frank shows off a trick where he uses the sword to slice Rachel's scarf cleanly in half, and then the pair finally embraces. We may have been a little upset that he cut up the scarf, but she can probably afford a new one. Number 18. Sam and Austin, a Cinderella story. There have been countless retellings of the classic fairy tale Cinderella, but this modern example has simply got to be one of our favorites.
You're football captain and student body president.
And closet poet? You can't be both guys.
I'm not.
Well, then who are you?
Starring Hilary Duff and Chad Michael Murray, A Cinderella Story has developed something of a cult following, and one of the reasons has to be the chemistry between the two leads.
Okay, I know that you think that I'm just some...
Coward. Phony.
Okay, just listen.
No, you listen. You turned out to be exactly who I thought you were.
Even though we knew how this one was going to end, it's still a pleasure to watch Austin realize his mistakes and apologize to Sam, eventually kissing her in front of everyone.
What are you doing?
Something I should have done a long time ago.
Number 17. Jamal and Latika, Slumdog Millionaire. It's easy to forget that back in 2008, Slumdog Millionaire was an absolute sensation, taking home 8 Oscars and winning the hearts of many.
You answered A. Ramis, which is, I have to tell you, the right answer!
While much of the story revolves around Jamal's time on a game show, there's a love story at its core between him and his childhood friend Latika.
I knew you'd be watching.
At the film's conclusion, the two finally meet again on a train platform, with Latika saying that she thought that they would only be able to meet again in death.
This is our destiny.
Their kiss is a passionate one, and it's followed up by a cheery Bollywood dance number. Number 16. Chiron and Kevin, Moonlight. Moonlight is the stunning look at the life of a gay black teenager, showing us his life in 3 stages: childhood, adolescence, and adulthood.
Why you always letting people pick on you, man?
What you mean?
You always letting them pick on you.
The film won the Academy Award for Best Picture for good reason, and one of the storylines that ties everything together is Chiron's relationship with Kevin.
What you doing out here, man? What you doing out here?
The two were childhood friends, but as they get older, their relationship takes an undeniable shift.
You like the water? Well, I can introduce you to some fire.
One night on the beach, they smoke a joint together and start talking intimately, with the end result being an unexpected kiss. Number 15. Josie and Sam, Never Been Kissed.
Hold it. Where are you going?
To high school, because I'm a high school student. I'm here with my fellow students. Hey, guys.
Josie didn't have a great high school experience, and it seems like things are poised to be even worse when she's given an assignment to go undercover as a student to report on the behavior of teenagers.
You set me up for a story.
No, I
Just drop the act, okay?
She ends up developing feelings for one of her teachers, which is admittedly a bit confusing, to say the least, because he thinks she's a teenager. But by the end, they've cleared things up and he arrives in the middle of the baseball field to give her the kiss she's been waiting so long for.
Well, it's been
Most first kisses are awkward, but this is anything but. Number 14. Hannah and Jacob, Crazy Stupid Love. In Crazy Stupid Love, Ryan Gosling plays playboy Jacob Palmer, who picks up girls without a second thought.
I find you very attractive. Do you find me attractive?
He does.
I don't.
You do. She does.
Hannah, played by Emma Stone, soundly rejects him the first time he tries to take her home. But after she suffers a stunning rejection from her own boyfriend, she storms back to the bar where she first met Jacob and kisses him right in front of the girl he's chatting up. Gosling's bemused look when they finally pull apart makes this a perfect and hilarious movie moment.
Do you remember me? Still find me attractive?
Yes.
Number 13. Holly and Paul, Breakfast at Tiffany's. Breakfast at Tiffany's is a classic romantic comedy that's managed to enchant viewers for generations.
Holly, I'm in love with you.
So what?
Much of the story focuses on Holly Golightly and her zany life, but her lack of openness to love is holding her back.
People do fall in love. People do belong to each other, because that's the only chance anybody's got for real happiness.
She finally decides to let go and accept love into her life, even if it means losing the perceived freedom that she believes she has. She chases after Paul through the streets of New York in the rain as he looks for her cat. And when they finally find the poor slob, the couple shares a dramatic kiss. Number 12. Bridget and Darcy, Bridget Jones's Diary. Bridget Jones's Diary tells the story of a woman who doesn't quite have her life in order.
And you know, last night, when I said that I loved you, I didn't mean it. I was being ironic.
She dates the wrong guy, being hurt by Cad Daniel Cleaver, but eventually finds herself with Mr. Right, Mark Darcy.
Right.
She chronicles her adventures in her diary, but when Mark reads it and sees what she wrote about him before realizing he was the one, he leaves her alone in her apartment.
Everyone knows diaries are just full of crap.
I know that. I was just buying you a new one.
She chases after him in the snow in her underwear, and when she finds him, realizes he was just out buying her a new diary for a fresh start.
Someone exactly like you. I've been traveling all around the world.
He really does love her just as she is. Number 11. Harry and Sally, When Harry Met Sally.
I'll have what she's having.
When Harry Met Sally is a classic of the romantic comedy genre, with so many movies released subsequently being compared to it.
Is that what you're gonna wear?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Why?
I think you should wear skirts more. You look really good in skirts.
The story asks the question of whether men and women can ever be just friends. And in this case, at least, that proves that to not be true.
I've been doing a lot of thinking. And the thing is, I love you.
What?
I love you.
How do you expect me to respond to this?
How about you love me too?
Harry and Sally's friendship is messy, especially after they sleep together. But by the film's end, Harry has realized that the relationship he wants has been right under his nose the whole time.
I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
His speech about why he loves her at the New Year's Eve party is adorable, and the kiss they share marks the start of their actual relationship. Number 10. Sam and Jake, 16 Candles. Sam, played by Molly Ringwald, is primed to have just about the worst 16th birthday ever when she realizes her entire family is too busy with her sister's wedding to give her any attention.
You came here for me?
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
On top of all that, she thinks the guy she has a crush on hasn't noticed her. But when she's least expecting it, Jake shows up on her sister's wedding day to sweep Sam off her feet.
Happy birthday, Samantha.
She ditches the reception to go back and have cake with him. And in the film's final moments, they both lean in and kiss over the candles. Number 9. Lara Jean and Peter, To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Despite the fact that To All the Boys I've Loved Before is one of the newest movies to feature on our list, it's quickly become something of a modern staple of the teen romance genre.
What do I have to be scared about?
You tell me, Covey.
How do you tell your fake boyfriend you can't go skiing with him because you're starting to have real feelings?
Lara Jean and Peter remind us of all those crazy feelings of adolescent love. And while their relationship starts off as a fake one, it clearly progresses into something very real.
There's no one like you, Covey.
On the school ski trip, they finally give into their feelings, making out in a hot tub, in an incident that's unfortunately filmed for all their classmates to see.
Nothing.
Number 8. Ron and Hermione, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Perceptive fans of the Harry Potter series saw the Ron and Hermione romance coming from a mile away.
You do it.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
These two had bickered and fought their way through the series like only two people who are destined to be together can. While their first kiss in the movies isn't quite as satisfying as its portrayal on the page, we still love finally seeing these two give into their feelings, in the midst of all the danger and drama of the Battle of Hogwarts. No house elves were saved, but the unbridled moment of passion is there just the same. Number 7. Will and Elizabeth, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
Elizabeth, will you marry me?
I don't think now's the best time!
Getting married in the middle of a deadly battle isn't exactly what any of us dreams of. But in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, Will and Elizabeth take what they can get.
I love you.
Will proposes while the two are slaying their foes together, and they quickly convince Barbossa to officiate their union.
Barbossa! Marry us!
Despite the fact that he's a little bit distracted.
Dance kiss!
The kiss they share when they're finally husband and wife is dramatic to say the least, as the waves splash over the ship and the fighting continues around them. Number 6. Han and Leia, Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
Hey, your worship, I'm only trying to help.
Would you please stop calling me that?
The love triangle in the original Star Wars films is complicated just a bit by the fact that Luke and Leia are actually related. But by Empire Strikes Back, it's clear that the relationship we're supposed to be focusing on is between Leia and Han.
Afraid?
You're trembling.
I'm not trembling.
When the two finally lock lips, the moment has been a long time coming.
I happen to like nice men.
Nice man.
Very nice.
And fun fact, later in the movie, the script originally said that Harrison Ford was supposed to simply reply in kind when Leia said she loves him. But Ford found this didn't fit with his character and improvised the now iconic line instead.
I love you.
I know.
Number 5. Simon and Bram, Love, Simon.
I'm going to tell my family. So thanks, Jacques. Love, Lou.
Love, Simon is notable for being the first movie by a major studio to tell the story of a gay teen romance. And it does so with a perfect tone that balances humor with a tender-hearted plot. Simon has to contend with being outed while in high school, all the while falling in love with a mysterious guy he meets online.
Okay, don't worry, I won't show anyone.
Show anyone what? Did you print my emails or something?
Oh, no. I screenshot them.
In the film's climactic moment, Simon asks Blue to meet him at the Ferris wheel.
Can I sit there? I was kind of waiting for somebody. Yeah, I know.
As everyone watches, Simon goes round and round alone, before Bram finally reveals himself to be Simon's online pen pal.
Are you disappointed that it's me?
No.
The kiss they share makes viewers want to cheer, just like the crowd watching them. Number 4. Peter and Mary Jane, Spider-Man.
You have a knack for getting in trouble.
You have a knack for saving my life.
Peter Parker saves Mary Jane countless times in the Spider-Man movies, but this instance from the 2002 version of the story is the most memorable because of the steamy kiss that the two share.
Do I get to say thank you this time?
Spidey's hanging upside down when Mary Jane tries to thank him for protecting her. And while he of course doesn't want to take off his mask to reveal his identity, he lets her pull it down just far enough so that they can kiss. How many people tried making out upside down after seeing this one? We can't be the only ones. Number 3. Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet. The tale of Romeo and Juliet is, of course, one of the best-known love stories in the Western canon. But Baz Luhrmann managed to make the story feel fresh and modern in his 1996 interpretation of the Shakespearean classic.
Have not saints' lips? And holy palmers too?
Ay, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
After seeing one another through a fish tank at an elaborate costume party, Romeo and Juliet essentially fall in love at first sight, and manage to evade prying eyes and steal a kiss in private. When Romeo later comes to Juliet's window and they go for a dip in her pool, they share an even more passionate embrace. Number 2. Noah and Allie, The Notebook. The Notebook is a favorite in the romance genre because of the heartbreaking love story between Noah and Allie.
I wrote you every day for a year.
The two young lovers are separated and their romance quashed by Allie's mother, who conceals Noah's letters from her.
It still isn't over.
When the two reunite years later, Allie asks why Noah never wrote to her, and he replies that he did, every day. When they realize what happened, the moment is electric. The stormy weather already makes the moment a dramatic one, but you can't deny the chemistry these two share when they finally kiss after so long apart. Number 1. Jack and Rose, Titanic. Titanic is one of the biggest movies of all time, and this scene is perhaps its most iconic moment.
Now hold on to the railing. Keep your eyes closed, don't peek.
I'm not.
Jack and Rose's relationship has already taken off by this point in the story, but the scene on the edge of the ship's bow cements their romance as Rose finally admits what she truly wants.
I'm flying.
With the music for My Heart Will Go On providing the emotional backdrop, she flies over the ocean and Jack and Rose kiss. If you stop the movie here, we have a simple love story with a happy ending where no one has to die in the frigid North Atlantic. We can dream. Did we forget another satisfying kiss?
You know, in old films, whenever a girl would get seriously kissed, her foot would just kind of pop.
Sadly, not all kisses lead to a happy ending for the couples involved. And while there is some crossover between our last list and this next one, the list you're about to see is much sadder. So grab a box of tissues and let's get through the top 10 kisses that happened just before tragedy together.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most memorable movie kisses that were immediately followed by heartbreak. Major spoilers here, so beware.
No. He's looking at you, kid.
Number 10, James Bond and Tracy, on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Mrs. Bond, shut up.
And don't eat it all at once.
At the end of the 6th James Bond film, the secret agent is determined to retire and settle down with his new wife, Tracy. The newlyweds have escaped death once. This time, they won't be so lucky. As they stop beside the road to share a last kiss, Ernst Stavro Blofeld and his henchwoman Irma Bunt blasts their getaway car with bullets. The indestructible 007 is unscathed. Tracy is not so lucky. The film ends with a rare sight, an emotional James Bond. The agent cradles his dead wife's body, leaving viewers with an uncharacteristically somber ending for the high-flying spy franchise.
There's no hurry, you see. We have all the time in the world.
Number 9. Sam and Molly, Ghost. It's easily one of the most famous love scenes in movie history, and it's amazing to think that the kiss comes so early in the film. Ghost single-handedly makes pottery sexy, and the song Unchained Melody synonymous with movie romance. As Sam and Molly kiss and cuddle over her spinning pottery wheel, it is just hotness overload. As you watch the movie and see what comes next, you realize it's one of the couple's last happy times together. In the next sequence, Sam is murdered, causing a dead man to try and take care of unfinished business in the land of the living before moving on to the afterlife.
I've always loved you.
Ditto.
Number 8. Chiron and Kevin, Moonlight. Teenagers Chiron and Kevin are forced to hide their budding attraction. Even after a profound and intimate moment on the beach, the two must act like they don't know each other at school. To maintain his status and keep his feelings a secret from his friends, Kevin is forced to haze Chiron.
Do it.
Come on.
Let's go.
This culminates with Kevin having to hit Chiron. The scene is torturous. He begs Chiron to stay down, but Chiron refuses, taking the hits and forcing Kevin and his friends to go through with the beating.
Chiron, stay down.
He got up. Do it again.
Number 7. Kim and Edward, Edward Scissorhands. Relationships are complicated. When one half of the couple has literal scissors for hands, it's bound to create a unique set of problems. Kim is a teenage girl who falls for the peculiar titular character, who more than lives up to his name. But after tragedy strikes and the townspeople turn on him, she realizes that if he's going to stay safe, she can never be with him.
Run.
She must convince the gathered mob that Edward Scissorhands has died, but not before giving him one last kiss.
I love you.
The worst part is that they'll live the rest of their lives just up the road from each other. Talk about a bittersweet ending.
If you weren't up there now, I don't think it would be snowing.
Number 6. Veda and Thomas J. My Girl.
1, 2, 2.5, 3.
This coming-of-age story about a mortician's daughter and her best friend is charming and low-key traumatizing. Veda Sultanfuss and her friend Thomas J spend most of their time hanging out in the woods and talking about subjects too mature for them to really understand.
So why are you running away? My dad gave Shelley a ring.
After sharing a sweet and relatively innocent kiss one afternoon, a smiling Thomas J stumbles upon a beehive they'd knocked down earlier. He's swarmed by bees and dies of an allergic reaction off-screen. This scene is devastating and may have taught many young viewers about the suddenness of death and loss.
And where is his glasses? He can't see without his glasses. Put his glasses on.
Number 5. Tony and Maria, West Side Story. This musical adaptation of Romeo and Juliet takes place among feuding gangs in the mid-century Manhattan. Caught between two warring gangs, Tony kills Maria's brother in a melee and begs her forgiveness.
I don't know what went wrong.
I didn't mean to hurt him. I didn't want to.
They reaffirm their love while singing the emotional ballad Somewhere. They end the scene with an iconic kiss framed against beautiful colored lights pouring from the window. They have one more kiss after Anita arrives home and confronts Maria about the boy who killed her brother. Little do they know, it'll be their last embrace before Tony's death. He is shot down in the street before they can reunite, and Maria's final kiss is upon Tony's dead lips.
Te adoro, Anton.
Number 4. Rick Blaine and Ilsa Lund, Casablanca. Rick and Ilsa met and fell in passionate love in Paris, only to have their love irrevocably changed by the Nazi occupation. Told in flashback, their last kisses are made as soldiers approach the city. The whole scene is full of longing and grief that's not apparent to him at first. It's just after this that Ilsa leaves him without warning or explanation, and Rick's entire world changes.
But this note came just after you left.
Her fateful request to kiss her like it's the last time is filled with even more meaning in retrospect.
Kiss me. Kiss me as if it were the last time.
Though Ilsa's reasons are made clear later, the same war that tore them apart once does so again at the end of the movie. As Rick Blaine reminds his lost love,
We'll always have Paris.
Number 3. Scotty and Judy, Vertigo. Racked with guilt over the death of Madeline, the woman he fell in love with, acrophobic detective Scotty Ferguson spirals into obsession when he finds out he was the pawn in an elaborate murder plot. Judy, the woman's doppelganger and an accomplice to her murder, is similarly racked with guilt. Feeling betrayed, Scotty takes her to the top of the bell tower, where Madeline supposedly took her life and made her confess.
I wanted to stop it, Scotty. I ran up to stop it.
You wanted to stop it. Why did you scream? Since you tricked me so well up to then.
Their cathartic and intense kiss is interrupted by a nun, who emerges from the shadows like a ghost.
Please.
Judy's panic and subsequent fall provides one of the most haunting endings in movie history.
No! I heard voices. God have mercy.
Number 2. Jack and Rose, Titanic. There are a lot of great kisses in James Cameron's epic love story, but the one right before the title ship hits the iceberg is by far the most cursed. Rose tells Jack that when the ship docks in New York, she's leaving her fiancé behind and going with him.
When the ship docks, I'm getting off with you.
Rose's sacrifice is huge. Yes, her mother is terrible and her fiancé is worse, but she's throwing away everything she knows for him. The scene already has an air of sadness about it. We know what's coming, but they don't. They have no idea the ship will be at the bottom of the Atlantic by the next morning.
Winning that ticket, Rose, was the best thing that ever happened to me. It brought me to you.
Number 1. Romeo and Juliet, Romeo plus Juliet. The sumptuous but contemporary setting of Baz Luhrmann's remake of the Shakespeare classic made its famous climax all the more painful to watch. A series of misunderstandings leads Romeo to believe his love Juliet has died. He drinks poison rather than be without her, but not before kissing her supposedly lifeless corpse on the altar where she lies in repose. Of course she's not dead, but she's too late to stop him.
Romeo.
Their shared fate is what helped Shakespeare's most famous tragedy set the standard for doomed lovers, and actors Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes brings it to heartbreaking life.
Now kiss thy lips. That place of poison yet doth hang on them.
Did these doomed romances break your heart?
Hold my hand and we're halfway there.
Okay, I promise that is the only sad list we're gonna show you today. This next one is full of kisses that reward longtime fans of shows who've waited literally years to see their favorite characters hook up. That's right, let's jump into the top 30 most long-awaited TV kisses.
Elliot, I want to, but I can't.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the TV characters who took what felt like forever to finally kiss on screen.
What are you doing?
Will you just stand still?
Number 30, Sheldon Cooper and Amy Farrah Fowler, The Big Bang Theory. Although she wasn't introduced until the long-running sitcom's third season, Mayim Bialik's neuroscientist was a perfect match for Sheldon Cooper.
I'm being blackmailed with a hidden dirty sock.
If that was slang, I'm unfamiliar with it. If it was literal, I share your aversion to soiled hosiery.
While she planted a smooch on him while under the influence in season 4, it wasn't reciprocated, and may have even further delayed their very real connection. It wouldn't be until season 7 that the fireworks really went off between Amy and Sheldon. Their first kiss came in the middle of a classic Sheldon tantrum.
Now let's gaze into each other's eyes. You blinked, I win. Let's see, what's next? Oh, kissing's romantic.
Then, of course, it became the real thing. It's the kind of first kiss only Sheldon Cooper could manage. It was a sarcastic joke until it became reality.
That was nice.
Good.
Number 29, Oliver Queen and Felicity Smoke, Arrow. This CW superhero series follows Oliver Queen, a billionaire-turned-vigilante who begins fighting crime and corruption in Starling City. Early in the series, he meets and works closely with IT expert Felicity Smoke.
I was at my coffee shop surfing the web, and I spilt a latte on it.
Really?
Yeah,
Because these look like bullet holes.
my coffee shop is in a bad neighborhood.
Fans waited eagerly as the two flirted shamelessly for 2 seasons. Then, in the 3rd season premiere, they finally got their wish. The two went on their first date, only for Oliver to realize he can't be a superhero and the man she deserves.
Stop dangling maybes. Say it's never going to work out between us. Say you never loved me.
Their first kiss feels like a painful goodbye. Luckily, fans wouldn't have to wait too long for them to come to their senses.
I could be the arrow and be with you. I want to be with you.
Number 28, Janine Teagues and Gregory Eddy, Abbott Elementary. It was clear from the pilot episode that Mrs. Teagues and Mr. Eddy were a perfect match. But like any will they or won't they TV relationship, they had a few hurdles to clear first.
I was gonna wait for my boyfriend to finish his show to eat, but no. I'm hungry now, so I should eat now.
Season 2 of the runaway hit sitcom constantly teased us with their inevitable pairing. After all the false starts and fleeting looks, the two finally had their first kiss at a teacher's conference. It all went down in the middle of a classroom full of flowers. When the chemistry is explosive from the start, even 2.5 seasons can feel like a lifetime of waiting.
We got caught up in the moment.
That's what she said about it. Just two friends getting caught up in the moment.
Number 27, Amy Sosa and Jonah Sims, Superstore. The employees of big box store Cloud9 had a lot to contend with. Shoplifters and corporate shenanigans are crazy enough. Workplace romance is another thing entirely.
The thing about this structure is it's really solid, you know. It's very strong. It's very sturdy. It's
very sexy.
Sales associate Jonah Sims was down bad for supervisor Amy Sosa from the start. It wasn't until a tornado trapped them in the store that they were forced to reveal their feelings for each other. Because nothing says romance like flying debris and a falling ceiling. Of course, they try to play it off as no big deal. But if this list proves anything, it's that two characters kissing on a TV show is like opening Pandora's box.
That was an accident, but
We didn't
yeah.
mean to do that. Was
Yeah,
like,
it was you were going in.
Guys, something just happened!
Number 26, Jake Peralta and Amy Santiago, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Jake Peralta and Amy Santiago's first kiss was a spur-of-the-moment decision, but they were undercover, so it didn't really count, right?
NYPD, freeze! We are police colleagues!
You're under arrest. This is a work event.
Well, they cleared up the confusion in the filing room later in the episode, and it was enough to make fans' hearts start pounding. While it was an intense and dramatic scene for such a hilarious show, it was another story behind the scenes. Andy Samberg and Melissa Fumero were living up to the show's madcap goofiness off camera. Apparently, to make their kisses less awkward, the two actors ate food that would give them bad breath.
You're gonna go to the Polish place and get pierogies, potato pancakes, and a cup of hot chocolate.
That's exactly what I'm gonna get.
Yeah. I will be having pizza, 2 slices of meat supreme from Tony's, served display temperature.
Number 25, Jim Halpert and Pam Beesly, The Office. From the moment Jim told us he knew Pam's favorite flavor of yogurt, it was over.
Jim said mixed berries? Oh, wow. Yeah, he's on to me.
With their matching senses of humor and longing glances at each other over their computers, their budding love story was so cute it was almost annoying. It got to the point that every romantic partner they had outside of the relationship just made us angry. Then we got to season 2, 21 episodes after what happened at the Dundies, and with the documentary cameras peeking through the office blinds, Jim finally worked up the nerve to kiss Pam. We smiled, and then we breathed a huge sigh of relief because waiting for that one almost killed us.
I'm in love with you.
What?
I'm really sorry if that's weird for you to hear, but I need you to...
Number 24, Joyce Byers and Jim Hopper, Stranger Things. When we first met Joyce, she was not doing well. She was frantically searching for her missing son, Will, and forcing the exhausted and weary police chief, Jim Hopper, to take her seriously. But over 4 seasons, monster invasions, and being held captive by the Russians, the two grew very, very close. It was a very long time coming.
I've been on a diet of watery soup, moldy bread, and maggots, so yeah, I've been dreaming about breadsticks and lasagna, I'm assuming. So I've been dreaming about something else?
You tell me.
Scored with the show's usual 80s-inspired synthesizer, it's a magical and surprisingly passionate kiss. It was a great moment because both of them had grown so much in that time, together and apart, and were much better than when we first met them.
And after that?
I don't know.
Use your imagination.
Number 23, Buffy Summers and Spike, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Couples and relationships can be a hot topic among fans. That's especially true for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy fans can probably be divided into camps based on which vampire they wanted Buffy Summers to end up with.
The day you suss out what you do want, there'll probably be a parade. 76 bloody trombones.
Angel was her first love on the show, but the leather-clad, peroxided vampire Spike entered the race halfway through the series' run. They technically locked lips in season 5, but no, the Buffy bot doesn't count. It wasn't until season 6's classic musical episode that the two finally had their first real kiss. Their embrace closed out the show, leaving viewers dazed by the entire episode and foaming at the mouth to see how things would pick up the next week.
Where do we go from here?
Number 22, Michonne and Rick Grimes, The Walking Dead. You'd think a band of survivors trying to outrun a horde of walkers wouldn't have much time for romance, but then you wouldn't have much of a show if they didn't.
You want to tell me about your day?
No. Same thing.
Well, you found a guy?
Fans of the comics knew Michonne was coming, but they didn't necessarily know her introduction would result in a pairing with the show's protagonist, Rick Grimes. However, fans didn't get to see them act on their attraction for 3 seasons. In an uncharacteristically warm episode, the two begin to kiss while sitting on the sofa after sharing the adventures of an average day in a post-apocalyptic landscape.
Oh, so you had a day.
Yeah. All on account of your dental hygiene.
Number 21, Gil Grissom and Sarah Seidel, CSI Crime Scene Investigation. few had it quite as hard as the CSI fandom. Having kept their relationship hidden from their colleagues, crime scene investigators Gil Grissom and Sarah Seidel's first on-screen kiss was probably one of the most gut-wrenching ever.
That just makes this worse. I can't talk about this right now. I can't.
Sarah, having lost her passion and drive for the job, kisses her now fiancé Grissom goodbye and departs the crime lab. The two would eventually marry, break up, and get back together. But most of their romantic relationship would be played off screen after actors William Peterson and Georgia Fox's roles as part of the cast changed. Their return in the 2021 follow-up series was a welcome look into their dynamic as a married couple.
We weren't really that worried about the ring.
It just felt like a battle.
Number 20, Maddie Hayes and David Addison. Moonlighting. Look, we're not saying the Blue Moon Detective Agency invented the long-simmering workplace romance, but Maddie Hayes and David Addison probably perfected the trope.
You know, that's what I like about this place. You learn something new every day.
Would you get serious?
Maddie, I just have my hand on your behind. If I get any more serious, they're gonna move us to cable.
Inspired by screwball comedies and murder mysteries, the show cast Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd, proving opposites really do attract. The dramedy constantly teased us with fantasy kisses throughout its episodes. However, when the constantly bickering pair gave in to their feelings in season 2, it was a painful case that finally gave viewers what they wanted. It was a thrilling and sad moment between the two.
You tell me, what was that?
What do you mean, you tell me? It wasn't me, it was you.
I didn't do it, you did it.
I did not do it.
Well, I did not do it.
Well, if you did not do it and I did not do it, I guess it didn't happen.
Number 19, Joey Potter and Pacey Witter. Dawson's Creek. Though technically they share a brief peck early on in season 1, these two wouldn't discover their true feelings for each other until the 3rd season.
The hostility, the way they're wary with each other, not to mention the constant bickering and name-calling. Now these two, clearly, are in the early stages of some screwball mating ritual.
What? These two start out as enemies, with Dawson really being the only thing connecting them. But over time, they become confidants, then friends, and then something more. Without even realizing it, they become each other's soulmates. And in a moment where Pacey can't hold his feelings in anymore, he kisses Joey, changing their relationship forever.
Don't you ever get tired of talking?
No,
I
I don't
get
get
tired
tired.
of
I don't. No,
I don't want to talk anymore.
What are you trying to say,
Joe,
Pacey?
I don't
Why
wanna-
are we standing? I don't.
It might have only taken most of the way through season 3 for these two to finally lock lips, but if you watched this relationship build through seasons 2 and 3, it felt like a lifetime. Number 18, Jess Day and Nick Miller, New Girl. Similar to Joey and Pacey, if we're talking straight episode count, this one doesn't take too long at all to manifest. We got this first kiss halfway through the 2nd season, but also like Joey and Pacey, the tension between these two was so palpable that it felt like forever for this to finally happen.
Good night, Nick.
Good night.
The chemistry between them was so intense, in fact, that Jake Johnson and Zooey Deschanel were told not to touch during filming.
I think we actually fought, legitimately fought against it for a long time.
So, I mean, really, really hard. You guys fought against it. We would be like, so, do you want to go over there? Don't touch him.
Cece saw it from the very beginning. She tries to hook up Nick and Jess very early on, but the show made us wait in anticipation. Number 17, Kate Beckett and Richard Castle. Castle. No matter how much animosity Beckett has for Castle in the beginning, these two have an obvious chemistry. Castle is always out to win Beckett's heart, but in season 1, Beckett is all business.
This whole bad boy charm thing that you've got going might work for bimbettes and celebutantes. Me? I work for a living, so that makes you one of two things in my world. Either the guy who makes my life easier, or the guy who makes my life harder.
She's not at all responsive to his romantic attempts, and even tries to have Castle removed as her partner. But in season 2, their relationship begins to soften, and we could see mutual feelings begin to blossom. Then, finally in season 3, Castle and Beckett finally share their first kiss. It may have just been part of a plan to help their friends, but let's be honest, we all knew it was something more. Number 16, Leo Fitz and Gemma Simmons, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. These two literally traveled through space and time, losing each other and finding each other again and again. They obviously had chemistry from the very beginning.
When did you become so sun-kissed? Because I'm pretty sure that every minute of every day you've been stuck in a lab right beside me. At the academy, at PsyOps, this plane. You've been beside me the whole damn time.
They'd been partners ever since the academy, but as the show went on, it became more and more clear that there was something deeper between them than friendship. We watched as their feelings blossomed through insurmountable obstacles. They defeated deadly viruses, battled Inhumans, and even survived at the bottom of the ocean all together. Their first kiss came in a moment of desperation where they just couldn't hold in their feelings anymore.
You dove through a hole in the universe for me!
Number 15, Ziva David and Tony DiNozzo, NCIS. This one was a long, slow burn. These two don't even meet until season 3, when Ziva first joins the team. It takes them until season 11 to finally lock lips for real, but their first mission together involves them pretending to be a married couple.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your instincts were right.
Even the actors knew right from then that their characters were in a love story, and the fans were right there with them. We all waited 8 seasons for them to finally come together, and it was a goodbye kiss. It took another long wait to see them reunited. Number 14, Dwayne Wayne and Whitley Gilbert, A Different World. Towards the beginning of A Different World, the idea of romance isn't really on Dwayne or Whitley's mind, but it certainly was on the audience's. As the show went on, the chemistry between the two was undeniable.
Well, it certainly is good to see a familiar face. Although you don't look all that familiar.
Oh, my suit. Well, I was in Toronto on business.
Dwayne might not have been the type of guy Whitley would usually go for. He didn't have the rich guy look, he wasn't on the finance or business track, but he was the only guy who cared to get to know her, and that's what really matters.
Well, looks like we're all done.
No, we're not.
Well, what's left?
Plus, both of these characters dated and loved other people before coming together. They knew themselves and knew what they wanted, which made them perfect for each other, and made this kiss worth the wait.
Oh, whoa. One more thing.
What?
I love you too.
Number 13, Damon Salvatore and Elena Gilbert, The Vampire Diaries. As soon as Elena quite literally ran into Damon in the second episode of the series, Vampire Diaries fans were hooked. Their love triangle with Stefan dragged on, and while there were small nuggets here and there, such as Elena chastely pecking Damon as he lay dying, the two didn't officially kiss until season 3. At the time, Damon and Elena were working to get Stefan back from Klaus, and Stefan and Elena were still together.
Klaus is trying to send us a message. He wants us to find Stefan, who stole his coffins full of his dead family members.
Coffins?
Yep.
Though Damon still considered Elena his brother's girl, hello patriarchy, he kissed her, knowing she would go back to Stefan in the end.
If I'm gonna feel guilty about something, I'm gonna feel guilty about this.
It still took another season for these two to get together, but we appreciated this kiss in the meantime. Number 12, Lucifer Morningstar and Chloe Decker, Lucifer. These two start off with that classic opposites attract, buddy cop type of relationship. Chloe is pretty straight-laced and by the book, and Lucifer is, well, Lucifer.
You got some balls on you, pal.
Oh, thank you very much, but they're really quite average.
I bet.
Are you sure that we haven't met? I could swear I've seen you naked. Have we had sex?
Similar to Castle and Beckett's relationship, Lucifer clearly likes Chloe from early on, but Chloe remains skeptical of his intentions. Though he's straight up with her about who he really is, Chloe naturally doesn't believe him. But slowly their trust grows and they become real partners and true friends. Eventually, just when Lucifer is ready to give up hope that Chloe would ever see him as anything more, she flips the script and plants one on him.
You're probably right.
detective.
This might have only taken halfway through season 2 to happen, but we were all longing for this one since they first met. Number 11, Patrick Jane and Teresa Lisbon, The Mentalist. What's with these partner duos? They just can't seem to keep their hands off each other. At least, not for long, but definitely long enough. Out of 7 long seasons of this show, these two don't give in to their romantic tension until the finale of season 6.
I love you. Woo, you can't imagine how good that feels to say out loud, but it scares me. And it is the truth.
At the start of the show, Jane is still recovering from the death of his wife, so it seemed unlikely that anything romantic would materialize between the two partners. Yet over time, the attraction between them becomes more and more obvious. In a Ross and Rachel type move, Jane finally admits his feelings for Lisbon just as she's about to leave to take a new job. She initially rejects him, but comes back and kisses him. Number 10, Seatley Booth and Dr. Temperance Bones Brennan, Bones. Yet another partnership team-up relationship to add to the list. It's obvious from the beginning that these two would eventually get together.
I'm the gambler. I believe in giving this a chance. Look, I want to give this a shot.
Even their co-workers think there's something going on between them. One of them, Sweets, even writes a book about their relationship. Yet we still had to wait through 5 seasons and 100 episodes of sexual tension, overprotectiveness, and even jealousy between them before finally seeing Booth and Bones kiss. After reminiscing on their first case together to help Sweets with his book, Booth finally builds up the courage to tell Bones how he feels.
You mean us? No, the FBI won't let us work together.
Don't do that. That is no reason.
It's a bittersweet moment since Bones is not ready to reciprocate, but we all knew this was only the beginning. Number 9, Anne Shirley Cuthbert and Gilbert Blythe, Anne with an E.
I have a very good imagination, so I just had to be sure this is real.
Anne, I have to know. Do you truly have feelings for me?
Ah, young love. It may have taken until the series finale of this short-lived show for them to kiss, but it was well worth the wait. Gilbert clearly likes Anne from the very first time they meet. On the first day of school, Gilbert saves Anne from a kid that's harassing her and asks if she had any dragons that needed slaying, implying that he wants to be her Prince Charming.
You're welcome. Need anything else? Any dragons around here need slaying?
No, thank you.
Who are you?
After that, Gilbert relentlessly tries to get Anne's attention, which proves elusive. But eventually the two become friends and fall in love. Their first kiss may have been a long wait, but it was like a fairy tale. Number 8, Brienne of Tarth and Jaime Lannister, Game of Thrones. Let's just ignore everything that happens in the last few episodes of Game of Thrones and only remember the good times, like when these two finally locked lips. Jaime and Brienne didn't start off on the best of terms. Honestly, there probably aren't worse terms two people could start on.
Why should I care how you die?
You swore a solemn vow, remember? You're supposed to get me to King's Landing in one piece. Not going so well, is it?
But throughout the show, their respect for each other grew. Jaime trusted Brienne enough to tell her the true story behind the Mad King's death, and Brienne's honor inspired Jaime to be the knight he always longed to be. Season 8 definitely lacks high points, but the scene where Jaime knights Brienne is one of the best in the show's history.
Arise, Brienne of Tarth, a knight of the 7 kingdoms.
And their long-awaited kiss was pretty great too.
I've never slept with anyone before.
Then you have to drink. Those are the rules.
I told you.
Number 7, Stiles Stilinski and Lydia Martin, Teen Wolf. This one was not just a slow burn for us, but for Stiles as well. Stiles has harbored an unrequited love for Lydia since the 3rd grade. Lydia, on the other hand, hasn't even seemed to notice he was alive.
That is freaking awesome. I mean, this is seriously gonna be the best thing that's happened to this town since the birth of Lydia Martin. Hey, Lydia. You look like you're gonna ignore me.
That is, until things start getting all mystical and magical in their lives. Over time, Lydia starts to see just how deeply Stiles cares about her, and she starts to care back. When Stiles is suffering from an intense panic attack, Lydia kisses him as a way to calm him down. At the time, it may have been little more than a distraction, but later on, even Lydia admits that that was the moment everything changed between them.
When I kissed him, that's when it all changed.
Number 6, Donna Paulson and Harvey Specter, Suits. When it comes to workplace romance, these two might take the cake for the longest wait time. Fans waited 7 seasons for these two to finally take the plunge, although they would have to wait a whole other season for them to actually get together. But even though it took them forever to get there romantically, these two always had each other's backs. Actor Gabriel Macht even called the pair each other's other half.
I don't know how to say this. Just say it, darling. What?
Your dad, he had a heart attack.
He's right. Whether it was working on a case or being there for each other emotionally, like when Harvey's dad died, these two were basically in a relationship already, just minus the physical part.
Where's Lewis? Because I have some news, and I think you should both.
And boy, are we glad they added the physical part. Number 5, Luke Danes and Lorelai Gilmore, Gilmore Girls. Quick banter and obscure pop culture references a happy couple make. Fans knew from the start that Luke and Lorelai had something special. They're the epitome of opposites attract. He's surly, she's perky, she's a caffeine addict, he runs a diner that sells coffee. It's the perfect match.
This is a coffee morning.
Every morning for you is a coffee morning.
This is a jumbo coffee morning. I need coffee and an IV.
I give you tea and a balance bar.
But the showrunners dragged this obviously perfect couple out for 4 long seasons before fans got that much anticipated first kiss.
This could be a totally innocent situation, and then we've done all this what-ifing for nothing. Let's just go back in there and see if anything's weird, okay? Okay.
Is everything okay?
Yes.
In typical Gilmore Girls fashion, the build-up to the moment is hilarious and witty. Lorelai's attempts to figure out if Luke is serious towards her are a hoot, and the culminating moment is absolute perfection.
What are you doing?
Will you just stand still?
Number 4, Clark Kent and Lois Lane, Smallville. There have been many iterations of Clark Kent and Lois Lane, but these two might win the award for the most screen time without a smooch. Lois didn't make it onto the show until season 4, but when she did, the chemistry she had with Clark was undeniable.
Wait. Who are you?
Lois. Lois Lane.
Of course, the showrunners made fans wait until season 9 for that chemistry to finally come to fruition, all while making Clark navigate his superhero life without letting Lois in on his secret. These two had smaller kisses before, but whether it was Clark masquerading as Green Arrow or a run-in with Red Kryptonite, something always made those kisses feel a little less official than this one, which is why it's perfect.
I never should have tried out in the first place or dragged you there with me, and I just...
Number 3, Josh Lyman and Donna Moss, The West Wing.
Hi.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Donna Moss. Who are you?
I'm Josh Lyman.
Ah.
Yes.
I'm your new assistant.
Of course, the polls could be the only thing to heighten the tension and finally push these two lovebirds over the hump. It's hard to imagine The West Wing without Josh and Donna, but the relationship almost never existed. Janelle Maloney was only hired for one scene in the first episode, the scene where she brings Josh coffee. Apparently, the chemistry between the two actors was so off the charts, producers hired her on as a regular. 7 seasons and much political banter later, the two finally kissed in the wake of a campaign victory. Ah, the romance of politics. Number 2, Dana Scully and Fox Mulder, The X-Files. Talk about making us wait for it. Scully and Mulder may as well have invented the idea of the slow romantic burn. Ever since the beginning, the tension, both positive and negative, between these two could cut a knife.
If you have any doubt about my qualifications or credentials...
You're a medical doctor. You teach at the academy. You did your undergraduate degree in physics.
Einstein's twin paradox, a new interpretation. Dana Scully's senior thesis. Now that's a credential, rewriting Einstein.
It may have had something to do with Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny's reported less than friendly relationship while filming, which could have had a hand in creating sparks on camera. But don't worry, the two are good friends now. Tension aside, after 143 episodes, our favorite alien hunting, crime fighting duo finally locked lips. And at the turn of the century, no less. Fitting. Number 1. Niles Crane and Daphne Moon. Frasier.
Daphne, this is my brother Niles.
From the first time Niles laid eyes on Daphne, he was smitten. But he was married at the time, so yeah, he couldn't really do anything about it. But even after Niles' marriage ended, it took a long time for this relationship to come to fruition. The lists of almosts for these two is too long to count. From the pair's explosive tango at the ball, to the Seattle heatwave fiasco, to Niles losing his nerve time and time again.
I can't imagine what you must be thinking. Me barging in, asking to spend the night.
Well, gee, I'm just thinking so many things.
But all the near misses made it all that more satisfying when the two finally did the deed. Kissed, that is.
You know, a lot of times.
Oh, for God's sake, Dr. Crane.
What TV kiss did you wait a lifetime for?
Live for today. Go for it, Sam. I tell you, go for it. Are you okay?
I just did a rewatch of The West Wing, and wow, do they ever keep you waiting for that Josh and Donna kiss. But I guess that's what happens when you're good friends first. You have to wait until you're sure it's gonna work. Speaking of which, let's finish up with a list of the top 10 friends to lovers kisses.
I wanted it to be you so bad.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the lip locks that took these duos from friend zone to end zone. Number 10, Jenna Rink and Maddie Flamhalf, 13 going on 30. Sometimes it takes waking up as a 30-year-old and losing the life you knew to make you appreciate what you had.
I want to be 30. 30 and flirty and thriving. 30 and flirty and thriving.
Indeed, this was the case for Jenna Rink, a 13-year-old who wishes to be grown up only to learn that it's not all it's made out to be, and that there are more important things than being popular in high school, like her friendship with Maddie.
If in your heart you really, really knew that, you wouldn't be getting ready to marry someone right now unless that someone were me.
By the time adult Jenna learns this lesson, it's too late. He's moved on and is marrying someone else. Fortunately, this wish comes with an undo. So when she finds herself back as her 13-year-old self, she makes sure he knows how she feels.
Maddie!
Wow, you really know what you're doing.
Number 9, Usnavi de la Vega and Vanessa, In the Heights. From the moment we meet Usnavi and Vanessa, we can feel the heat between them. But no, it has nothing to do with the heat wave.
You owe me a bottle of cold champagne.
Are you moving?
Just a little credit check and I'm on that downtown train.
Well, your coffee's on the house.
Okay.
Navi, ask around. No way.
However, with both setting their sights on getting out of the barrio, they seem destined to part ways as friends. As Usnavi packs up to head to the Dominican Republic, Vanessa brings him a bottle of cold champagne to celebrate his big move. However, she realizes she can't let him go without telling him how she feels.
And it's not like Sonny's got role models stepping up to the plate.
Yo, what are you talking about?
I'm just saying, I think your vacation can wait.
Only, she doesn't exactly know what to say. Their interaction is like a bottle of champagne that's been vigorously shaken. The kiss is the moment the cork pops.
Vanessa, I don't know why you're mad at me.
I wish I was mad.
Number 8, Rosie Dunn and Alex Stewart. Love, Rosie. Technically, longtime besties Rosie and Alex share their first kiss on Rosie's 18th birthday. However, Rosie doesn't remember it. and a casual comment makes Alex think she's not interested in anything more.
Oh, I feel sick even thinking about it.
Like, which part?
All of it. It never happened. Alex, okay, you can't tell anyone.
In fact, fate would continue to keep them apart for several years. However, Alex eventually learns that if it had not been for the misunderstanding all those years ago, perhaps he and Rosie would have ended up together.
I only realized tonight that you forgot your 18th birthday, about 5 tequila slammers in, I think, before you fell off the stool.
Fast forward, he visits Rosie at her hotel and confesses how he feels. After plenty of missteps and near misses, we could all breathe a sigh of relief.
Rosie, darling, can I take you to the dance?
Better late than never.
These childhood friends finally share the smooch that would take their relationship to the next level. Number 7. Harry Burns and Sally Albright. When Harry met Sally. Can men and women just be friends? Sure.
I thought you didn't believe men and women could be friends.
When did I say that?
On the ride to New York.
No, I never said this. Yes, that's right. They can't be friends.
This epic rom-com convinces us that some of the best relationships come from friendship. Harry and Sally don't exactly have the smoothest sailing relationship, as it has lots of ups and downs and twists and turns. However, everything changes between them after they spend the night together. Still, it takes a new year rolling around for both to finally recognize there's more between them than friendship.
I love that you get a little crinkle above your nose when you're looking at me like I'm nuts. I love that after I spend a day with you, I can still smell your perfume on my clothes. And I love that you are the last person I want to talk to before I go to sleep at night.
Although Sally is more reluctant to admit it, Harry has no problem bearing his soul.
That is just like you, Harry. You say things like that and you make it impossible for me to hate you. And I hate you, Harry. I really hate you.
Their kiss cements this film's status as one of the best rom-coms ever. It's a moment that will make any rom-com fan say,
I'll have what she's having.
Number 6. Patrizio Pat Solitano Jr. and Tiffany Maxwell, Silver Linings Playbook. Pat and Tiffany first meet over dinner at Pat's friend Ronnie's house and bond over past struggles. Tiffany's clearly smitten, but Pat's still hung up on his ex Nikki. Tiffany offers to help him win her back if he enters a dance contest with her. But as they spend time together, they form a genuine bond.
How did I do? I think I did pretty well.
Yeah, she said you were cool, basically.
Basically. Was I some percentage not cool?
No, she said you were cool.
After the competition, Tiffany sees Pat with his ex and leaves. With some encouragement from his father, Pat chases after her and hands her a letter telling her everything.
I love you. I knew it the minute I met you. I'm sorry it took so long for me to catch up.
It's a messy yet heartwarming journey, culminating in a kiss that's sure to make even the hardest-hearted person shed a few tears.
You love me?
Yeah, I do.
Number 5. Keith Nelson and Watts, Some Kind of Wonderful. When Howard Deutsch and John Hughes first plotted Pretty in Pink, they planned for Andy to end up with her best friend Ducky. Unfortunately, that's not what the test audience wanted.
This is an incredibly romantic moment, and you're ruining it for me.
So, they decided to give their original ending another shot in a new story called Some Kind of Wonderful. In this version, our protagonist realizes he's in love with his best friend Watts, who has clearly been infatuated with him for a while.
I express an interest in someone that I don't even know, and you're getting tense.
This is not tension, this is reason.
It's Keith's date Amanda who helps him come to this realization and urges him to follow his heart. And well, it doesn't get much sweeter than this. Well, no one does friend to lover quite like Hughes.
I had a feeling. Well, how do they look?
You look good wearing my future.
Number 4. Joe Fox and Kathleen Kelly, You've Got Mail. Don't you hate it when the guy you're kind of into is also running you out of business? Of course, bookstore owner Kathleen doesn't know this. She only knows her companion by his online name, NY152.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if I could pass all my zingers to you, and then I would never behave badly, and you could behave badly all the time, and we'd both be happy?
Meanwhile, in the real world, she meets Joe, who runs a thriving bookstore franchise. At first, they're bitter rivals, but Joe soon develops feelings for her and strikes up a friendship instead.
Yeah, I keep on bumping into you.
Yeah.
Hope your mango's ripe.
I think it is. Hey, you want to bump into me on, say, Saturday around lunchtime?
Yeah.
Over there? Good.
When Joe eventually confesses his feelings, she admits she feels the same way. There's just one problem. She's still got a thing for her mystery chat room guy. Luckily, they turn out to be the same person, just as she had hoped.
Where troubles melt like lemon drops.
Number 3. Sasha Tran and Marcus Kim. Always be my maybe. Sasha and Marcus have been inseparable since childhood, but a rift forms between them when they share a night together after Marcus loses his mom. Fast forward to adulthood, Sasha, now a renowned chef, returns to San Francisco to launch her new restaurant. After a brief dalliance with Keanu Reeves, they take their relationship to the next step.
I've missed you.
Me too.
However, just as things seem to be heating up between them, Marcus learns Sasha is not planning on sticking around. It takes Marcus facing his grief and chasing after her to set things right.
I don't care where it is. I don't care what outfit I have to wear. I don't care if I have to eat a lot of tiny little things that I hate. I just want to be with you.
Finally, after a sweeping declaration of love on the red carpet, they seal the deal with a smooch.
Kiss already.
Number 2. Mia Thermopolis and Michael Moskowitz. The Princess Diaries. If you were raised on The Princess Diaries, you'd know the ideal kiss has one distinctive hallmark.
In old films, whenever a girl would get seriously kissed, her foot would just kind of pop.
However, Mia discovers that it takes someone truly special to make her foot pop, and it's certainly not any Backstreet Boy clone like Josh Bryant. Her dream kiss doesn't come until the end of the movie when she realizes her best friend Lily's brother Michael is the one for her.
Why me?
Because you saw me when I was invisible.
Throughout the film, he's clearly smitten with her, while she just sees him as her bestie's big bro. Their lips finally meet at the royal ball after Mia recognizes that Michael appreciated her long before she donned her first tiara.
And just because I'm royal doesn't mean I'm any different. I mean, come on, I'm really the same person. And yes, I will have to live in Genovia a little bit, but I'm still going to go to school. And
Cue the foot pop. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Peter and Nick, single all the way. The only thing missing is the mistletoe.
That I would miss you if you moved here.
Well, that implies that you're not moving here.
Well, you never asked.
I know. I was scared.
I was scared too.
Jack Malik and Ellie Appleton, Yesterday. After all, it was the Beatles who sang All You Need Is Love.
I've waited all this time just to make it right.
Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. There's nothing like the fight to defeat evil to make you give in to your feelings. Number 1. Peter Parker's Spider-Man and Mary Jane Watson. Spider-Man. Come on, do friend-to-lover kisses get any more iconic than this one?
You are amazing.
Some people don't think so.
But you are.
Nice to have a fan.
Sure, Tom Holland and Zendaya's smooch is pretty unforgettable thanks to their undeniable chemistry. Still, nothing beats this moment. By now, Mary Jane has started to develop feelings for Spider-Man.
You have a knack for getting in trouble.
You have a knack for saving my life.
Little does she know that her school friend Peter Parker is masked underneath. Yet, when Spider-Man swoops in to rescue Mary Jane once more, she passionately shows her appreciation.
Do I get to say thank you this time?
Wait.
It's not just an unforgettable kiss. Spider-Man hanging upside down in the rain while Mary Jane leans in creates one of the most memorable cinematic visuals all time. Our spidey senses told us this relationship had just swung to new heights. Which film do you think has the defining friend-to-lover kiss?
I hope you get your first real foot-poppin' kiss.
All right, I think it's time to cozy up watching a great rom-com. How about you? What's your favorite comfort rom-com to watch on a rainy day? What's your favorite on-screen kiss you've ever seen? What characters from different properties would you like to see get together? As always, thank you for joining me on this romantic journey through the MsMojo archives. See ya!